Hello YouTube, this is The Bucket coming at you today with my Tisas Duty 1911 B9R DS. This is a double stack 9mm 1911 with double plastic two-piece grips. Now, if you look on the internet, everybody would say that makes this a 2011. So some of you will probably ask, well, why don't they just call it a 2011? Well, Staccato, who created the pattern of 2011, they have the trademark on the name. So if you don't want to get in Dutch with the lawyers, just go ahead and call it a 1911 and you'll be a-okay. This is a budget firearm with a lot of features that you would not expect on a budget firearm. So let's talk about a few of those. First, this is all steel constructed, all forged steel. Steel slide, steel frame, steel barrel, just steel all over. No MIM anywhere in here. Now, obviously, you're going to have the grips that are plastic module grips. There's some plastic in the trigger. It does have a 1911 trigger on this gun, which means it goes straight back and you're going to have that added accuracy. My Dan Wesson DWX isn't a 2011 because it has an all steel frame with grip panels, so that is not considered a 2011. When you get the Tisas, you're going to get two Checkmate 17 round magazines. Those are the magazines that Staccato runs. I love the fact that on a budget firearm they give you two magazines. It has a blacked out rear, but it's a big huge notch and then a white front dot. A lot of people would say, well, why? I really wish they would have done a fiber optic front. I get that. It does not have a bull barrel. It does not have a crown barrel. It's just a regular 1911 barrel. It's got a standard 1911 guide rod, which means that if you're familiar with disassembling a 1911, this is going to be no problems whatsoever. It doesn't have a magwell, but with any double stack magazine, you know, yes, if you're going to run a competition, maybe a magwell would be helpful, but you know, with it coming down to a single stack, you're going to already have an angle that's just going to make that gun just want to pop into the grip without any problem. So I thought it was really pretty nice. As far as the trigger goes, you do have a little bit of slop, and then it comes to a nice defined wall, and then boom, it's ready to go. And then just a little bit of a reset, and then you're ready for more pew. Tisas says it's about a 4.5 pound trigger. Some people on the internet are doing some tests on the trigger and finding out it may be closer to 5 pounds. You're going to be right around that 4.5, 5 pounds. As far as accuracy, the Goat Whisperer and I went out to the range. We both shot a little low today. The Goat Whisperer is a better shot than me, so his group was a little bit tighter than mine. Like I said, we're shooting a little bit low, but that's a ton of accuracy. We were having no problems ringing steel at 20 yards with this particular gun. As far as reliability, I did have one failure to feed on the first magazine, and then the next 200 rounds we had no failures whatsoever. It does come with an optic footprint. It has an RMSC cut already on it. I like RMSC. With me being old and me being legally blind in one eye, I like the RMR footprint a little bit better, but on a 1911 style pistol, that means you're really going to have to get an optic plate, and Tisas decided that they weren't going to do that. They did create a higher end DS model. It's the MAC that does have a magwell. It does have a plate system that you could put an RMR on it. So it's just, they really thought about it. The front serrations, rear serrations, just everything about this gun is really nice. I'll tell you the story. When I ran a couple of Staccatos. I ran a Bul Armory. Ended up falling in love with this Dan Wesson DWX. And then when I found out that there are a couple of the companies, Gerson was coming out with a 2011. They call it the MC2311. And when I got my hands on it, I'll be honest with you, it felt like a cheap 1911. I'm not saying that the gun wouldn't run. It just had an $800 price tag, and it just felt like a double stack 1911. So when I heard about the Tisas, I didn't have high hopes, but I saw this one online on Arms List for $600. I picked it up, and when I feel that slide, it just feels like a competition pistol. The trigger is really, really nice. all the features, the extended beaver tail, the extended grip safety, the skeletonized hammer, just everything about this they did a little bit better. The fact that they used no mem parts on this is really, really nice. And if you're getting a competition pistol and you're thinking you're going to run in competitions, you're going to run thousands of rounds through it. I usually don't have a problem with mem parts because most people aren't going to put in the kind of rounds into their gun that using a couple of mem parts just doesn't matter. This gun was designed to be having thousands upon thousands of rounds put through it, and so they didn't put mem parts. I love it. This gun is MSRP is $750. To put that into perspective, the cheapest Staccato I could find on gun.deals was $2,400. So you could buy this gun, a nice light, a nice RMSC, maybe Holosun red dot on top of it, and about 4,000 rounds of ammo. If you're thinking about getting a competition pistol and you're thinking you're going to go down that route, I think that 4,000 rounds of ammo is going to be a lot more impactful than any quality difference, which there will be. A Staccato is a better firearm, but can you get anything out of that quality? I'll be honest with you, I'm a gun guy. I've got a YouTube channel. I get 30,000 views a month. I'm pretty accurate with a firearm, and I'll be honest with you, I cannot get all of the accuracy out of this firearm that it is capable of. I probably can't get all of the accuracy out of this firearm that it's capable of because I'm not putting through thousands upon thousands of rounds a month to get to that competition level. So if you're wanting to get into it, I think that this and the money spent on ammo, or really nice, the accessories that you want, I think you'll like the firearm a lot better. You'll get better with your firearm, and you're going to have a great time with it. Or if you're just like, hey, I'm a gun guy and I think I need a 2011 in my collection, $750 MSRP for this is going to be a really good, comfortable price point, and it's going to feel like a 2011. You're going to have that competition quality, and you're going to be really, really happy with this firearm. I think Tisas knocked it out of the park. They do come with this one, again, is the duty. It's the full-length government size. There's a commander size called the carry model. They have it in the Night Stalker, which has got a threaded barrel. They've got the Mac. They've got a lot of different options there, but this is kind of the entry level, and I'm really, really happy with it. So if you're thinking about picking up a 2011 but don't want to, get a second mortgage out on your house, really look at this Tisas. I'm not saying the Gerson 2311 is bad. I'm just saying, having held both of them, having kind of ran the slides and felt the triggers, definitely the Tisas, in my opinion, is a higher quality firearm. I think you're going to be happier with it. So I do want to thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. All the likes, the comments, the shares, they're really, really appreciated. And as always, you stay classy, YouTube.
Little middle baby bucket. Do you want to live in California?
No!
Why?
Because I'm not a communist.